Welcome everybody, welcome to my channel Pegasus, it's time to fly. First of all, Happy New Year. These have been pre-recorded towards the end of 2021, but I'm going to be publishing them just for the new year so that people can really have a close look at what we have coming in for all of us. So before I get to our 2022 and begin, I just wanted to say a couple of things. I think ultimately 2021 has been a year of highs and lows. I mean, speaking personally, it's been a year full of love, full of fun, forming new relationships. And it's been a year of endings and different transformation and that kind of thing. And I think there's been this real collective energy for all of us that coming on the back of 2020, we started January 2021 with we went into a lockdown and there was just this feeling of disconnection. I'm going to be probably mentioning some of that in the readings as we go forward. But I think that disconnection for me is probably a word that might describe how a lot of us have been feeling in this 2021 year. This year has been what we call from numerology a 5 year. Fives can be very challenging, and I have mentioned some of this on some of my posts. So fives can be this idea of climbing the mountain and having things fall in our pathway to make things that little bit more difficult, or to help us learn and grow, which ultimately is what any transformation is seeking for us to do. It has been a bit of a strange one in terms of this disconnection, because I think we started the year where lots of people were working from home, and of course we've now gone back into that towards the end of this year as we close. So there was this feeling of disconnection, and then coming out of it and this idea of unity, celebrations and love, and trying to get back to what we were considering as normal life for all of us, I suppose. And then quickly we fell into that sense of normality again, and now we're being sort of pulled back into this idea of distance. I just sort of wanted to mention that and mention the energy of that, and that, for some it has been a really difficult year. There have been some amazing things that have occurred this year, and sometimes it's good for us to remember that light with that shade as well. And so much hope for us all moving forward as we enter into this new year, which is actually a 6. So what does 6s mean for us then? Well, for me personally, 6 is coming out of a 5. It's this idea of hope and this sense of building something back up that maybe fell away. We're building this stronger, new foundation. And 6s are really prosperous years for love and relationships, any type of relationship. They seek to find calm after the storm of the 5 and present us with more harmonious, cooperative components, I guess, is what I'm trying to say. So, I will see you in the readings. Thank you. Hey my little Virgos, welcome to your 2022 readings here at Pegasus, it's time to fly. So I'm going to begin by giving you a channeled message. All 12 astrological groups had this message that Spirit have channeled to me for me to read out for you during the readings and give you hopefully some enlightenment into moving into the coming year. I'm then going to use my Angel Answers deck, and I want you to maybe pause the video and think of a question that you'd like to ask, which it's been a burning question. Maybe it has some energy in 2021, something that was going on in your life that you'd just like to have a little bit more information or some sort of clarity for in moving forward into the next year. So then I'm going to read that, And then I'm going to pull 12 of the tarot deck, one for each month, and use some angel cards to clarify, to give you, to give you a bit of a heads up, I guess. Tarot certainly doesn't seek to tell you the future. It's not about telling you this terrible thing's going to happen, or this is definitely going to happen. It's a guidance. It's, like I said earlier, it's a heads up, and you know, it's a really beautiful way of taking that guidance and moving forward. But you know, at the end of the day, you have free will, so what resonates for you, take on board, and what doesn't, just leave behind. So, my little Virgos, Spirit have channeled the following message for you. They have said, life turns out how you pursue it. If you sit in silence, there will be silence. If you are open to change, those changes just might be everything you dreamed of. So the direct message for you is, know thyself better and have courage. The year of the tiger asks you to be strong, beautiful, and act with grace and integrity. Oh, that's a really nice message. So there you go, Virgos, that's your channeled message. So now I want you to focus on these angel cards and ask your question away. If you want to pause the video because you're not sure what the question is yet, then go for it. But cards, please can you give us a clear message to Virgo's question, please? Okay. It wants lots of cards to jump out, which was not really the point of it, but I'm going to let you have these two. It says success and helpful people. So look for the helpful people around you, and you'll know who those people are regarding this question. And whatever you asked can be a success. But remember your channeled message. Life turns out exactly as you pursue it. So it's all about your actions and what you're willing to put into something in order to gain an outcome, I guess. Okay, so let's pull 12 cards for Virgo for 2022. Can we be clear? I have done a full extensive shuffle before we were on camera, but just another little one as well going forward. Okay, so we've got January, February, March and April. What can you tell us for May? May and June. Okay, and for the latter 6 months, what can you tell us? What amazing messages can we have? Okay. They're literally jumping out at you, Virgo. So something is wanting to become crystal clear for you. Okay. I think these came out the fastest of all the signs so far. And that one's just shot across the other side of the room. Oh, I'm going to grab it. Ah, okay. It's Pegasus as well, so... Pegasus was flying across the room. Spirit's messages are flying out for you today, Virgo. Feels clear. Things are feeling clear. Okay, December. Ace of Swords. Okay, so before I do anything, I'm going to go to the bottom of the deck, which is the overall feeling of the year for you, Virgo. And this is Five of Swords. Five of Swords energy. Readers take lots of different meanings from this card, but one of the most common meanings can be that it's about not being quite honest, not being upfront, not being very straight about something. And it feels like I want to tell you that that's not going to work for you this year. It's time to put down the sword. Now, swords are air energy. So this is Aquarius, Gemini, Libra. But these are like, they denote thought processes and behaviours. And I feel, Virgo, that maybe you deal with things normally very internally. You have this complete mind meeting with yourself about all the really important things in your life. And sometimes you can be very sharp with your opinions and very, I don't want to say selfish, because that's not fair. It's not selfish. It's just that you know you're so set in how you think about the things in your life and how you've done things in the past that sometimes you find it very difficult to be flexible and to change. So I feel like this energy for the year is saying to you, maybe there are some things that do need to be a bit more flexible. Maybe you need to start thinking about some outdated ways of dealing with things in your life. This idea of this harsh communication or these harsh mindsets, you know, they do hurt other people and you do need to be aware of it. But it feels like it's not saying don't be harsh this year. It's kind of, well, it kind of is saying that, but it's ultimately saying don't be so harsh on yourself this year. This isn't just about other people. This is about how you internalize things, how you view things. Sometimes you know, those swords are they're very linear. They're very, this is how I think, this is how I do things, rigid. And they're really calling for, yeah, some flexibility. So that's what I'm getting for you, Virgo. For 2022, you need to be more flexible in your mindset, in your opinions of people, in the lessons you learn. You need to be more flexible in listening to people, because that's part of a really good part of communication as well. You know, we can speak and we can react to things, but really before we do that, we would like to think that we've thought things through, we've balanced things out. And to balance things out, we need to be considering other people's point of view sometime other than our own. Okay, so January starts with the Queen of Cups. This Queen of Cups is usually a water sign energy, so a Cancer, Pisces or Scorpio. This can be a woman or a man, and it's the energy, and it's really asking you, Virgo, to be in this loving energy. Perhaps your partner is this water sign. It's asking you to meet them and be loving. You have the Angel of Hugs. The Angel of Hugs is with you for this month. So I talked about being more flexible. Be more flexible, be more open to love. Maybe January needs to be a time where you demonstrate love. The Queen of Cups, she's somebody that gives great hugs. I'm not just saying that because I am the energy of the Queen of Cups, because I am Scorpio energy. I'm not just taking the credit for that, Virgo. But yeah, she's somebody that she can express love very easily, and it's asking you to be in that energy. It's asking you to be more loving to those important people in your life, and being more open to your feelings and understanding what you desire in order to fulfill the loving energy and fulfill this cup she has in her hand is full. So it feels like you're going to experience some love in January, and you're going to feel that your cup is full. February, the Hierophant in reverse. Now, sometimes the Hierophant is the wedding card or the marriage card, but sometimes it's just gaining more balance and understanding about all of those important things in our life, those institutions. This could be, you might be part of a group, a company or a business, and it might mean that you have much more to learn in that area than you thought. Perhaps there are some blockages in those areas. With it in reverse, in terms of this idea of partnership and marriage, I feel like your energy is very blocked in February. And I think this is caused by worry and concern. Is there something that you're worried about or you're concerned about in this month of February to do with your partner or to do with your union, and is causing you quite a lot of stress? Because it's also the number 5, the Hierophant, and 5s are challenges. So it feels like in February you are going to face some challenges. But remember what they said about being flexible. Whatever this card is denoting for you, Virgo, it is ultimately telling you that that is not a bad thing. It's not something to get worried about. It says, let your angel heal any heart of pain within this month. So if something does happen with this month that causes you to feel upset and slightly heartbroken, your angels are there to say, do not worry. Do not worry, because all is well. This scenario will work itself out, and it will work out for the best outcome. Income? Maybe there's something around income in there as well. Perhaps you're going to come into money in the month of February, or your income's going to look better. Maybe that's going to be a busy month for you. Okay, so this heart space, again, for those of you that are getting married, with everything that's going on in the world, I can imagine my friend, if she's listening, hi Trey, she is getting married in February. So I don't want you to listen to this reading and think, oh my God, the wedding's going to be off. We're all going to be in lockdown. It's not saying that. It's just saying that be more flexible. Encompass this Queen of Cups energy. Just be open to whatever comes your way. Because whatever comes your way, whatever the decisions are, whatever happens, it's this idea of you trying to come into balance. There will be order. Things will work out exactly as they have always meant to be. You know, 5s can be challenging, but they can also be very, very rewarding. I feel like there's this message that all is well. All will be well. Okay. In the month of March, you have the 5 of Wands in reverse. And the 5 of Wands in reverse is this sense of coming out of any sort of conflict or worry. So it feels like after February, you don't need to worry or you don't need to battle with yourself. Because I think it's yourself you've been battling with. The card of Liberty, which is the angel card that you've pulled, is asking you to be free with who you are. So now is going to be a time you're really going to be releasing whatever pain you've been carrying in 2021 or into maybe 2022 so far. Is all going to fall away and you're going to just suddenly feel very freed up. And you're going to see things as they were more lessons than they were battles. And they were, you know, everything was always going to work out in the way that it did. It was always going to have the outcome that it did, which is what I was trying to say for February. And also this angel's in this sort of black background and she's glowing with gold. So it feels like everything is going to be quite golden for you by March. You're going to have triumphed over, you're going to just be starting to triumph over some real big challenges in life. Some big difficulties. You go into April with the Star card in reverse. Okay. And that feels like there's no more healing to be done. It feels like in the upright, it's about all your dreams coming true, coming into emotional balance, being in a time of healing. Now, you might see that as reverse and think that you're in the opposite to that. But I don't see the energy as that for you with this Star card in reverse. It feels like you've done so much healing in the last 6 months. You've come through so much. It almost feels as well that some of you will have achieved some dreams that you'd set out to do. You would have had this balance already and you would have come into this this sense of contentment. You will have got to where you were going to. There's this bird in flight, and it's like, that's like a messenger of peace, a messenger coming to you to say, right, now's the time to live your life. You know, there was a period of time where your head was in the future constantly. Everything was about what will happen then, what will happen here. You know, will I do this? Won't I do that? You know, what if? And this card's really saying that you're kind of living in the moment in April, and you're starting to understand life. You feel like you've turned a corner, and actually you're now starting to climb the first step of your next challenge. You've completed this past challenge, and you now need to move towards this new challenge. And this new challenge is really taking us into May. And this is the Page of Pentacles. It's like this younger, new energy. I said you'd be taking the first step to the next challenge. So the Page is the lowest card of the court cards. And this page is really focusing in on what's in their life now. Let me look at the things that really matter, my reality, my material world. This can be home life. This can be our family. This can be how much money we want to make. This can just be being grateful for what we have. But it's like this message coming in, and I feel like this message is you telling yourself, actually, I have quite a lot to be grateful for in my life. I have all this wonderful abundance. And you know what? I'm on a journey to create even more. Because this scenario that I'm in, or I've created within my life now, will just keep going and going and going. And I'm going to grow from it. I'm going to learn things from it. And I'm really happy about that. And I'm now living in this present. So living in the present moment and being offered something, finding out something. Maybe you've just found out that actually you know what your happiness is now. It's been staring you in the face for quite a while, and you've now had this moment where you've understood, I want to go towards this energy now. This is earth sign, so this is your energy because you're an earth sign, obviously. So this is Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. This could be a younger person in that energy also. This could be a younger person bringing in some really good news for you. Pages often bring messages. They often bring new experiences, a sense of learning about yourself and about your material world. And this can be like you learning about your stability and security. So now you know what it is that makes you tick. You know what it is that you want from life, and you're ready to go towards that happiness. You have the card of stillness with this. Here is where you'll find your inner truth and potential. This is that moment of realization, Virgo. I know where my happiness lies. This is also you maybe getting ready in some way financially to go towards something that you've realised is going to make you happy. Perhaps you want to build a foundation within your world. So this pentacle could be going towards a new life or a new home or some new form of stability. It feels like this is movement in May. It feels like you've been on hold, you've been stuck up until now, and you're really starting to move forward. The healing that you've needed to do has been done. The stillness has served you well. It's very Virgo energy to be in that quiet stillness. And by what I mean by quiet and stillness, I don't mean your life, because often your life is anything but that. I mean that your headspace, this is something that you've deliberated over for a long time, and now you're understanding what it is you need to do in order to build this wonderful life that you'd like to go towards. In the month of June, you have the King of Swords in reverse. that feels like if there's been any conflict or any arguments within a family setting or a work environment, it feels like you now realise you need to put down your sword and try communicating in a different, more softer way. A softer approach, a kinder approach. This may well be how you're talking to yourself. Perhaps you've been really hard on yourself. You know, you've been pointing out all of your bad points, all of your insecurities, everything you think you've failed at in life. Maybe you've been pointing that out to yourself for too long. This king has these butterflies above his head, and it feels like you've been in this time where you've been in this chrysalis and you've been waiting to turn into this butterfly, which ultimately is this knowing, this transformation, and you're ready to fly. You're ready to fly and put down you're willing to accept, they're saying to me, that perhaps your mindset in the past has not been the best in order to serve you. Perhaps it's not equipped you with the balance that you need to, well, be more flexible. We talked about more flexibility. This is saying that now you are becoming more flexible. Perhaps you're not thinking that the way you've always done things was necessarily the best way. June is going to see you change your tact in some way. Okay. July, 4 of Pentacles. What are you holding on to, Virgo? We talked about you being flexible and understanding change that was needed. Are you reverting back to old ways of doing things? Or are you holding on to what you now know is going to make you happy? Are you moving towards those 4 Pentacles to build a new foundation? Are you grabbing life with both hands and holding on to it? That's what I feel like you're doing. Okay, that's what you're doing. You've understood something that's really important and you know what makes you tick and you want to hold on to it. You have the card of Serenity. Let it go. So, whatever you're holding on to. Now, it's great to identify those beautiful things in your life, but you need to, perhaps holding on to them so tight is making you a bit over-possessive, a bit insecure. Maybe it's asking for you to have a bit more serenity. They want you to love something gently. Like the ultimate relationship that they talk about in the law of attraction is that you are powerful with your partner and you bring so many wonderful things to each other that helps each other grow and go from strength to strength. But you're pretty autonomous at the same time. And that autonomy is really important for you to know your own identity, to have your own life as well as that of your family and those people around you. So have you been creating a smaller world for yourself by holding on to something that you believe is your drive or you believe is what's the most important thing in your life? And in doing so, are you missing the potential for something else to come into your world? Interesting. You have the card of Serenity, like I said. So this is saying just be more serene, be more calm. You know, let go of a few more things in your life. Some of the most beautiful, meaningful things in our life are things that we cannot control. We can also get lost in our responsibility of things as well, they're saying. We can focus on something with such intensity that we lose track of whether that is enough. is that thing that we're holding on to enough? Is that thing that we're holding on to something that completely and utterly defines us? Or should we be opening ourselves up in this autonomous way that I spoke about within this balanced relationship, or this idea of respecting and loving either the self or another person in your life? That autonomy is where you understand who you are and all the other things in your life, but you know that you can have that love and that intensity and still welcome new things into your life. You don't need to say, I need to be stuck in the old status quo for me to be happy. Sometimes we have to let go of things to let them grow. And going into September, which for some of you, October and September, we're now in Virgo season, you have this Three of Pentacles, and this talks about some form of collaboration with another person, coming together with somebody, having joint goals, wanting the same outcomes, being in beautiful balance with each other. Threes are natural development. And there's like this idea of flow, building. And next year is going to be all about that for us. Okay, well there's 50,000 cards there, which I cannot take because there's not enough hours in the day, Virgo, quite frankly. But I'm going to let you have two. So you have cheerfulness and listen. Wow, there was another group that had listen in this exact same position. I think it might have been Cancer. So listen to your heart with this Three of Pentacles. You know what it is that you want. You know what you want to move towards. And then you have the Angel card of cheerfulness under your Four of Pentacles. You can still let go and be happy and carefree, and you can still let go and things come towards you. You don't have to chase. You don't have to hold on to, grab hold of and constantly chase. Sometimes the most beautiful things that are meant for you come to you naturally. I've felt this fear, like you fearing that you're going to miss out. You're fearing that you're missing out on something because actually you've blocked yourself so much that you've denied yourself certain things, and you've concentrated on these pentacles. Hi Virgo, sorry about that, I think my camera switched off. So I did read right up until December, but I'm going to have to read it again for you. So maybe this is giving us a message that you're going to be redoing things again slightly differently. You're going to be revisiting something again once you've had this ability to let go that we were talking about for you in July. So coming into August, there's this feeling of collaboration. You're going to be coming into some sort of collaboration. This could be in work, or this could be in a life setting. This could be in a relationship. Perhaps once you've let go and understood this card of July, you are going to be working more collaboratively with somebody else. And that's this idea of coming together of these different energies. There's three people in this card. Threes are about development. And your angel card of listening is really coming into play here. The more you listen to the messages around you, the more you will hear. So this is this idea of working together with people and not separately. This idea that you've put yourself into isolation previously because perhaps things weren't working out as you would have liked them to, or you just didn't feel something was enough. When we hold on to things like these Four of Pentacles, when we let go of them, we realise that sometimes these energies of not feeling that we're enough for someone or something makes us realise that it wasn't our reality. And the reality is that when we work and we connect with people more, we're in a much better place in our lives. So August is about connecting, or they're just saying to me, reconnecting. So maybe you're reconnecting with something that you previously had, a person or a job or a career, or maybe a hobby, or maybe something that brings you joy. It's asking you to act with creativity. But this note to self about listening more, that can be listening to others, but it can be listening to our feelings, and what drives us can be really important within this month of August. Going into September, we have the Three of Wands in reverse. So it's this feeling that you perhaps what you thought you deserved or was going to come into reality didn't come about. And you've been looking in the past and looking back more than looking forward. It's best to leave feelings of discontent in the past, this card is telling you. In reverse, this person feels that there's no developments. Everything they've been working towards is just not paid off for them. But I think that is just a mindset, because you have the angel card of reward in this month. So something wants to come in for you, or something wants to work well with this collaboration. And perhaps you're just not allowing. We needed to speak about surrender in July, and by September, perhaps some of our old habits are creeping back in. And we just need to be more open to the future and open to new experiences. Perhaps we felt like our dreams were dying in front of us, or we weren't completing things that we felt we should be. That's not your reality, I feel, in this, Virgo. I feel like this is something that a thought process that you've decided, and I feel like you need to forget everything you thought you knew about this scenario and look for the good in it. Look for the joy in something in life. This is a fire energy. These are wands. So this is Aries, Leo, Sagittarius energy. And that fire energy wants to move forward with motivation and with gusto. But it feels like you're stopping yourself from doing something that actually could be really good for you and could end up being very, very rewarding. So this is a time to really ask ourselves, what are we stopping from becoming part of our life? What do we need to release is the question. Yeah, what do you need to release, Virgo, with this reversal of Three of Wands in order to look forward with more excitement and with more hope? Perhaps you're feeling a little bit despondent and it's time to fire up the engines and move forward in some way. I feel like you're just stopping yourself from something that could be really good for you, and we need to resolve those energies. Moving into October, the Seven of Wands in reverse. Maybe you've been in a period of conflict and you're now starting to come out of that conflict. That might be an inner conflict. You don't feel like you're in this defensive battle mode by October, and that's really good. And October's the 10th month and coming into winter, and it's like everything we've gained from the year so far, we feel a little bit more empowered by. Spirit is guiding this energy and it's saying, no need to fight anymore. Your strength is something that is just an inner knowing. If you have an inner knowing about some desire, because this is more fire energy, so these are your desires, your hopes, your dreams. Sevens are victorious and are striving for victory, and it's saying that you can go towards that. Your path's clearing now. You can definitely move within this element. If this is in love specifically, it feels like you've not allowed yourself to be happy. Sometimes we really want to blame and feel that we're in the right. This is saying that's not always our best position. Spirit asks you to Release the need to always be right. You can still be fabulous and you can still be victorious, but do it with a more graceful manner. Do it more openly and more willingly. It's about going with the flow more in your life as well. I think sometimes you are a sign of getting caught up in your headspace and you want everything to be perfect and everything to align. The minute you release control of how things will turn out, the moment the victory becomes in alignment, and this is really important for you this year, understanding your victories. There are many amazing things that can happen for you in 2022, I feel, Virgo. And as soon as you take the foot off the gas, I think that's when the spirit are just going to introduce these things into your life. And they want it to be easy. They don't want everything to be this struggle that sometimes you have felt that life has been. And letting go and understanding that not everything should be played out on the battlefield mentally or verbally takes us nicely into November. And we have this Knight of Cups approaching you. This is something being offered to you, Virgo. This can be something offered in balance, in love. This Knight is gone on a journey, and this journey has been a long journey for them to find the enlightenment, to find what completes them. They're balancing this cup and they're content and happy. Have you been holding in feelings of love? Have you been on a journey working out what this love means to you or what it looks like? Perhaps you're in a relationship where you and this partner have been through all sorts of crazy adventures together. Some pretty and some not so much. However, this is like a modern version. And this girl sat on the horse is very balanced. She's very in her heart space and she knows what she'd like to move towards in order to make life this more loving, beautiful energy. This easiness. This coming into a better place in their life where the water flows easily. You know, real love shouldn't be that difficult, but sometimes we need to go through our challenges in order to find the person that we really want to offer this cup of love to. It feels like she's scared to spill any of her love because it's so full and she wants to just offer it to this person she's journeying towards. And I feel like she's going to be a success. So I think whatever this is for you will be successful. And the more successful you feel that you're going to be, the more successful you will be. This is self-belief. This is self-worth. This is this understanding what makes you tick. It's also identifying what that person that you want to offer that cup of love to can give you in return. She knows that this journey was worth it for this person and that together that they can make a success of whatever they decide to encompass together moving forward from this point on. And this goes into December and this Ace of Swords. Ace of Swords are like a gift from above. They're divinely guided. And in the background of the card, we see these clouds shadowing these mountains. And I spoke about this journey that this Knight of Cups had been on in order to go towards what they knew was right for them. This is about changing your mind, understanding somebody else's point of view, doing things differently, being open to letting light into your life, understanding that the perils of what you've travelled up that mountain have been really difficult and really arduous, and there have been times where you've thought, is this journey worth it? But there's been this inner knowledge that you know going towards the peak of the mountain that it will be worth it. It will be worth the journey. And I would say the journey is worth it, and the reward will be immense. You have the Angel of Peace in December as well. What an amazing month to feel peaceful. Most people in December are feeling a little bit manic. It feels like the year you've got a different perspective on your entire life now, and how you want to live it, and who the people you share it with. And your communication now is softer and easier. It's assertive, and it knows the direction in which it wants to aim its sword. But that sword is a sword of positive communication, peaceful communication. Knowing that you're at the top of the mountain finally, and you can survey the lands and survey where you've come from. And this new perspective is a perspective for the higher self. You're in a completely different place now in your life in December of 2022. Be open to this gift. Be open to the changes of dealing with things and using different processes in order to get a successful result. I feel like this will be a very successful year for you, Virgo, and I feel like towards the end of it you'll come into this healing vibe where you are more peaceful and more able to face life in a much more positive way. And I'm wishing so much energy around the idea of that for you, Virgo, because sometimes I think you are a bit of a perfectionist, and sometimes I think nobody's more harder on you than yourself. But you want the best for the people you love, and I think you're understanding now that how you communicate and how you think really has a huge impact on making that your reality. Have a wonderful 2022. I'm wishing you the best.